Welcome to There's Layers to This, a live show streaming every Tuesday that blends Web3, art, toads, and lasagna level commentary. Hosted by Valerie and Creatress, the show breaks down blockchain, AI, space tech, and more in a casual and fun way. Enjoy the show.
Hello! Happy Tuesday!
Happy Tuesday. Let's go.
We're back. We're back for another episode of There's Layers to This, Season 7, Episode 4. And we're so great to have you guys join us today. This is going to be another awesome episode. We've got a few things lined up for you today, where everyone is out and about, weather is becoming nicer, and things are cooking, with a lot of people. A lot of things are happening in the space. But before we get into it, I want to check in with Creatures and see how you're doing, because I know you've been traveling a little bit. Tell us a little bit where you're tuning in from today. Where are you hosting from today?
Oh my goodness. Yes, it's been a whirlwind this past 6 days, because we were live on Wednesday, if you think about it.
Right. Yeah. Oh.
All right. We got some loud traffic out here.
We got some cool sound effects.
I
you said you wanted a soundboard. So is this the soundboard?
Yes, we have a live soundboard today. I'm out here in Toluca, Mexico, where I'll be for the next about the next month or so, depending on our event schedule. But yeah, I am here getting settled in with family, reconnecting with my roots. For those of you who don't know, I'm from Mexico originally. I was born here. So yeah, it's been a very active week. How about you, Val?
Yeah, things are great. What did I do this past weekend? I went to a soccer game. Maybe had a little bit too many margaritas, but it was a good time. Was sad for anyone who follows soccer like I do. San Diego has a new soccer team. We were doing pretty good up until our last game. We lost. So I was really upset. We lost. It was 1-3. And I blame it on the refs. Listen, I don't know. Like sometimes
the refs.
Like those refs, they're paid off. That's what I'm gonna blame it on, because they got some bad calls and it was kind of crazy. But yeah, it's been good. So that means that the weather is getting better out here. Wanting to go to soccer games and hang out. So that's what I've been up to. And besides that, of course, staying in tune with what's happening in the crypto space. And I guess before, if this is your first time, being here, this is our show. There's layers to this. I'm one of your hosts, Valerie, aka V Dizzle. And I've been in the space since May of 2021. I got in through an NFT project from a well-known entrepreneur named Gary V. He started an NFT collection called V Friends, and I won in a giveaway. So my very first NFT was gifted to me right from Gary, and I had offers on the secondary market for around $140,000. And so, yeah, I was in disbelief. I couldn't believe that crypto is a real thing, that NFTs were a real thing, that I can sell this and potentially make a six-figure, sale. But I didn't do that. I know, crying face. I did not know that in crypto that there were cycles, that things go up, things go down, things are very volatile. But it's all good because my journey continued. I didn't let that stray me away. I really saw the potential that blockchain technology has, and the transparency and the data, owning our own data. And I loved it all. And I just wanted to connect with more builders and creators. And so, yeah, it's led me down to some amazing friendships, like meeting Creators and starting this show. But it's also led me to start my own meetup group, because I wanted to bring people together. And so I started San Diego NFT Friends, which is a meetup group that meets once a month. And I usually provide free food and free drinks for everyone. And sometimes we'll have a panel. So it's pretty awesome. And then what I do full time is I have a event company called Red Rug Edutainment. And we do a lot of events like to these bigger conferences and side events and stuff. And so it's been great. And yeah, we're gearing up to do some Bitcoin Pizza Day events and hopefully NFT NYC. And so, yeah, the journey continues as, we watch the development of our blockchain and the space. So that's a little bit about me. If you're new here, I'll bring it over to Creatress for her intro.
All right. So don't mind or enjoy the sound effects, like Val said earlier. I am Creatress. S7E4 is my government name. But Creatress is what I like to be called, what I like to be known as. It's what describes me as a person, as a human, because at the core of my being, I am a creator, and I love every art form that I've encountered. I'm best known for my VR performances, which are really like mixed reality, immersive experiences that blend art, music, a little bit of dance, and spontaneous creation. And I've gotten a chance to do that for past 4 years. I've done over 35 performances at different Web3 events, primarily Web3 events. So a lot of events that you may have been to, ETH Global, ETH Denver, NFT NYC, Bitcoin Nashville. I could go on and on, but including many events that Valerie has produced. So we've gotten a chance to work together in a lot of different capacities, not just as co-hosts of this here show and producers. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm most known for, right? Is my VR performances. But I got into the space on the trading side with meme coins, XRP, and then Doge, which is like so funny to me, right? Because most people come in through Bitcoin, and I came through all these funny meme coins. But yeah, that's what really got me in. And in 2021, the rise of Clubhouse, I got on in January 4th. 2021, mid pandemic, and really just like dove in, created an art community that all learned about NFTs together, started minting my work in 2021, and just never really looked back. So here we are, I believe this is our 64th episode. We have done this for 64 weeks, not in a row, but pretty much. We've had just a couple, and
couple little breaks as we deserved.
64 weeks is like, 64 weeks of monitoring what's going on in Web3 and then sharing it with you guys through our lens. Yeah, I can't even explain how many things that we've gotten into, that we've studied, and communities that we've been part of. But yeah, it all led us here. VFriends, Oni4s, who else? Just Pizza DAO, Nouns. We're part of a lot of communities. I'm also, I do want to share, actually, this is new. I'm also officially a Nounsler again, which is one of the counselors of the Nounsol, which helps make decisions about where the Nouns DAO allocates its funds. So yeah, that's a bit about me, and welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. And so, yeah, on our show, we definitely like to talk about crypto and art and Web3. And we also talk about other tech like space and AI tech. So if you love all that stuff, keep tuning in, keep showing up, because those are the things that make us stay and really interested in the space. And so, yeah, we love sharing the news with you. And yeah, let's get right into it. What do you think, Rachel? Should we go with the giveaway first, or should we get right into the news and maybe do the giveaway in mid-show? What do you think?
I feel like maybe we should go to the news first and give anyone that might be listening a chance to repost and maybe get in on the.
Oh man, you're adding another layer of production for me over here.
Oh, did you already pick the winner? If you already picked the winner, then
no, I have not picked the winner, but I've already entered all the names. I feel like it's only fair that the people that were here last show, because the people who are tuning in now will get another opportunity. So
we do have another giveaway. You're right. Let's get this one out of the way, and then
let's talk about it. Okay, so for anyone who was here last week on last week's show, we had an awesome guest, of course, beings from Third Planet, but we also talked about our time at the women's brunch during NFT LA. And this was a brunch from World of Women, and they had a couple cool stuff that they were giving away. And I was able to snag a few of these t-shirts. And so this is a t-shirt collaboration from Women and Weapons, Sarah Bauman, which, by the way, congratulations, they announced they're pregnant. They were doing IVF, and one of the eggs took, and so there's going to be a little Sarah coming in. It's a girl. So yeah, this is one of her t-shirts she did as a collab with World of Women.
Amazing.
So
congratulations.
Yes, this is a size small, but there is also a size medium. So we're going to run the giveaway. What you had to do was you had to retweet our last show or quote tweet, and then you would be automatically entered. So I am going to screen share here real quick because I've already entered their names into the wheel of names. Dun, da, da, da. Here we go. So we have Carlos 2835, Maximilian, Isa La Artista, Web3 Warriors, Keegan, Binks X3PS, A Wild SJ, Crypto Bro 0, and BCast75 who entered. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting. But let's do a couple shuffles. Let's do two. Here's one shuffle and two. And here we go. Let's see who this winner will be. Ooh, that was so close to it being Isabel. But congratulations, Web3 Warriors. You are the winner of one of these awesome t-shirts. So I will reach out to you. And yeah, you can choose between the small and the medium, and whatever's left over, we will run this giveaway again. So if you're a crypto bro watching this, of course you can wear this yourself, or think about maybe giving it to your wife or a girlfriend or a friend that's a girl, or maybe a neighbor, get them into crypto. Buy a t-shirt, introduce them, that's a great first entry point. It's a good talking piece. But if you want to enter into this giveaway, what I would like you to do is we're actually trying to grow our YouTube channel as well. We actually multi-stream. So we're streaming on X, on Twitter, or that's X/Twitter, on YouTube, on Abstract, and where else? Are both our X's. Yeah. So we are also streaming on YouTube. So we're trying to grow our subscribers over there. So if you can do us a favor and go over there and subscribe, it will send me a notification who subscribes to our show. You just look us up. There's layers to this. Okay. There's layers to this. So go over there.
Ooh.
You like that?
I like that. I also want to say, I put the link, if you're watching on X, I put the link right below in the comments to subscribe. Perfect. So easy there. You can just click it. You don't have to search if you don't want to. It's right there on both of our X's.
Yes, awesome. So yeah, go over there, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll be automatically entered to win one of these t-shirts next Tuesday on our show. So go over there. And okay, do we want to do the big giveaway, or you want to save that for later?
I think we should save it. We should save it.
Okay. So we have a big giveaway from our show last week with Binks. Binks was awesome and gave the opportunity for our viewers to go and retweet and our show, and you would be entered to win an all-access Third Planet Studio pass. So Binks is an amazing event planner and artist and creator, and she does these awesome events that Creatress has been a part of. And I have yet to go because I'm always busy, but an all-access pass, wow, like the VIP treatment. So yeah, stay tuned, and yeah, we'll see when we do this giveaway, but stay tuned. So all right, so let's get into the news. Well, first of all, you're in Mexico, I'm here in San Diego, And I feel like a lot of people are out in Dubai right now. Have you been seeing that on your timeline? Everyone's in Dubai, I feel like.
Yes, yes. And I want to give a shout out because my favorite person in Dubai, I got 2 people out there doing some cool work, 3 people. So shout out to Girl in the Verse, Melina, who's out there doing some really cool reporting with Genzio, I believe. And then we have Jennifer Facino, who's out there, I think, just enjoying the conference. I've seen some of her, her social posts. And then, of course, our friend Rachel Rose is out there also doing more work. And I'm pretty sure she was speaking at the ETH Dubai event. So
yes, and congratulations to her too, Rachel Rose. I saw she just did a book signing at Barnes and Nobles. She just released her book. I think it's like what is it called? Entrepreneur, something with entrepreneurs. I forget the title, but it's like best selling. So congrats to her.
Yes, I did see that too. Rachel's doing it all. I love it. I love to see it. We got to get her on the show again.
Yes, we do. So yeah, everyone is in Dubai if you haven't noticed. But I saw some news that came out. Speaking of Dubai, is that Trump Towers, which is a hotel over there, one of the hotels, just announced today that their hotel will be accepting crypto. So I don't think that's no surprise that it aligns with token 2049. Everyone's over there for the crypto. And so I think it just makes sense that they took advantage of that opportunity. Everyone's there to announce that they will be accepting crypto. So makes sense. And not going to say whether I'm for, the person who owns these towers or not. But I will say I do like to see the progression in, ways we can use crypto, right? I definitely am all in favor of being able for anybody to go and buy crypto and then use it in different ways, buying groceries, booking your hotel, maybe renting a car. I think that just helps for more adoption. But what do you think? Any thoughts on that?
I think more places accepting crypto are always good.
Mm-hmm.
I also do not endorse the towers or people using the towers, but I'm glad they accept crypto.
What about in Mexico? Have you seen anyone over there accepting some Bitcoin or any other crypto or anything?
Haven't really seen anybody accepting crypto as a payment, but I'm going to keep a lookout. That's not to say that, over here in Mexico, they don't use it. They definitely do. And we are going to talk about an event that's coming up all about crypto. I did meet someone yesterday or the day before at a brunch who's an investor, actually an author as well about investing. And he is active in crypto. And he is very much Mexican. So yeah, people are definitely in it over here. So it's happening. It's worldwide, guys. It's worldwide. So
I love having those like those conversations just with people who are not in the that are in the Web3 space, right? They just kind of happen, because that happened to me too recently. As I mentioned, I went to the soccer game last Saturday and I took an Uber there, and the guy was like, "Oh, you live by the beach. What do you do? Blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Well, have you heard of crypto?" And he's like, "You're in crypto?" So I don't know if he was a little shocked because I'm a female kind of thing. That was the kind of vibe I got. Or it could have just been in general, he's shocked. But either way, he's like, "You're in crypto?" He's like, "Can I ask you a few things?" Like, he was just like, "I haven't talked to anyone who's in crypto." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I told him about what I do. And I was like, "So you've heard of crypto. Are you in crypto?" And he's like, "No, I don't know what to do." And he's like, "I have this app, I think, called Coinbase, and I like it because it gives me like alerts, but I don't know what to do from there." I was like, "Bro, let me put you on." And we got him to buy some Bitcoin and some Ethereum. So yeah, that was just so cool. So someone who has heard of crypto but didn't know what the next steps were. So it's just so cool to have these conversations in the wild where, you talk to someone and they might be in it and you're just like, well, how deep are you in it? Is it something you just know? In this case, the guy you talk to who's an investor is like in it, right?
And what's funny is he's actually writing a book, his second book, and it's going to be also about investments because that's what he studied. He studied accounting and investments and all those things. And his second book is also about investing, but like now in like this day and age, which is different than when he first wrote his book, like I think over 10 years ago.
Wow, really?
So yeah, I thought that was really interesting, and I definitely told him about NFTs, which he was aware of, but not like super knowledgeable on. And then I told him about the nouns community because I thought that was something that he would like, you know, enjoy, just like even the concept of it. So yes, we're growing.
We are growing. And so yeah, speaking of investments, real quick, I want to ask you a question. Have you heard of Rect Guy, or do you know about OSF, the founder of
Not really. I know about Rect. Rect sounds so familiar, but no, tell me.
Okay, so OSF is also a financial advisor, investment in the real world. He's come over into the crypto space, and he's a pretty big personality in the space, and he created an NFT collection called Rect Guy. These are like really cool, like almost kind of one of ones, it feels like, but very like neon and like just crazy like drawing of this character. Kind of looks like he's like dead, like almost a skeleton version, and it just kind of like blinks. Like they're really cool animation kind of art. And so they went crazy. They went up in floor price. I don't recall what, but he's been a founder who is not only like very involved with his NFT collection, but also someone who knows the financial side, to know what's happening in the economy and what's up and coming. And so he also has a show called Rect Radio, where he gives insight into what's happening in the space related to what's happening in the global economy. He's really, really great at that. And so I think it was towards the end of last year, he decided to create a coin, right? Meme coins were like growing at the end of last year. So he created Rect Coin. I was not able to afford a Rect Guy NFT, but I was able to go and invest in the Rect Coin. And so it did really well in the beginning. And then as all coins, they end up going down and crashing. And then he decided to make it into an AI. He gave the coin to an AI. So now there's like the Rect Guy AI who's tweeting out there and doing all these cool things. And so he keeps, I guess I want to say, keeps building out the Rect universe. And so the next thing he did was create an energy drink called Rect. And so I've had the opportunity to try this energy drink out in Miami Art Basel last year. It was at like the Magic Eden Mansion event. And it was pretty good. It was very bubbly. If you're into, the bubbly kind of, drinks, carbonated drinks. But yeah, and so he has announced while they were out in Dubai that they have partnered with Abstract Chain. So we are streaming to Abstract Chain. And so here's what those NFTs kind of look like, skeleton-like, and like they're usually animated like with neon lights. And so they created a Rect drink. And so, they've created a new flavor called Abstract Apple. And here's... Season 2. Ooh, there's rewards. Hey. There are also rewards for going to buy these drinks. And he has announced, like, he has said that he is on to like compete against Red Bull. Like Red Bull, when they first came out, they made $1 million in sales within the first 12 months. And right now he is a quarter way to that. And he suspects within the next few weeks, they will reach half of that. So he feels that they are on target and close to potentially hitting 1 million by the end of the year. So that's pretty cool, exciting. As someone, full disclosure, I'm a holder of Rect Coin, like I said, but here's Clement out in Dubai right now. That's the Magic Eden party. Giving people some extra energy out there. I don't know if degens really need the extra energy, because they already got some energy in themselves already. But
I think we do, because we be staying up way too late. So there's a point where no matter how much excitement you have as a degen, like you're gonna start getting sleepy. So like I could see this being kind of helpful for some degens. I don't get into the energy drinks too often. Very, very rare, but I could see it.
But okay, fair enough. I feel like they're doing great in marketing, and so they've got it in the hands of Farouk. This is Marianne, so shout out to Marianne, who's a fellow abstract streamer. And so yeah, I feel like they're just doing some great marketing here. So yeah, congrats to everyone who is a supporter of Rect or a holder of Rect through their coin or their NFT. But yeah, so it looks like a token 2049 is kicking off with some good energy. I wish I was there. Sadly, I saw Fari. I think Fari decided last minute she's going, so she is there.
Nice.
So hopefully you say hello.
Yeah, I hope everybody's doing fabulous in Dubai, staying fabulous and not too hot.
Yes.
We'll see you there next year, maybe.
So next thing, I feel like you wanted to do some sort of shout out about East Denver.
Oh yeah, so 2 cool things. East Denver gave us a shout out. Let me see if I can. Well, let me present my screen first. I guess okay. Let me just show you. Let me just show what I got here. There's 2 shout outs, and they both have to do with East Denver. So the first one, I guess I'll show you this one. So it's just a quick video here.
Ooh. Wait, is there volume? Is there sound?
Yeah.
I don't know if
you can't hear it. Oh, weird.
No. Were you able to hear my video when I played it?
Yeah.
When you share your screen, you have to toggle on like play sound. I don't know if that's the thing. So maybe like unshare and then like reshare. There should be some settings.
Okay, let's try again.
Okay, let's try.
Share screen, window. This one to share audio, share a tab, or screen instead. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So it wants a tab. Okay. Share screen, share tab. For some reason it's I see what's going on here. 1 second.
Take your time.
So it has to be on this same tab for me to share, or on this same window. One more time.
The production of the show, guys. Sometimes we're learning things. We're learning things.
Can you hear this?
What?
Yes. Custom hoodie, Rhythms Denver.
Ooh.
Leon knows at WTF.
So cool. Wow.
Sweet.
That's so awesome.
And then we got the little nouns at the bottom right here. Yes, guys.
Premium.
So, thinking about it.
Cute.
All right, let's go. Oh yeah, bro.
Oh, the knob. Look at that. Yay. Let me guess. Is that a video out of body? And Denichi? Oh my god, I can tell. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't like, even if they weren't in that video, it's like a style of like editing and creation that they do. It's just like, I feel like there's some sort of signature and I don't know what it is, but it's all really, really well done.
They're really good. They're really good at video editing and also just shooting content. So like y'all hire them if you can. They're always they're open. They're open to doing this for other brands. So.
And I'm jealous because I remember I was trying to reserve one of those hoodies, like the swag. Like I remember I was trying to reserve one of the hoodies. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I didn't send a reminder or you just got excited and they were already taken or what. But I didn't.
They were very limited edition, y'all. And the sizing, it's the whole thing, y'all. But if I get another proposal passed with little nouns, I'll make sure to make those again because I feel like everybody really enjoyed them. So sorry you didn't get one this time, Val, but you're on the list. You're on the list.
All right. I understand, but I love the detail to like the heart of One Love down the sleeve, the QR code, and the band, at the bottom. Like that's the type of merch I want to see more of. Like I know like our merch that we have is pretty awesome, but like seeing other projects and stuff, like what else can you do? Like speaking of merch, guys. So speaking of Eat Denver and merch, you may have seen support your local wildlife Barachain. So this is a Web3 crypto girly long sleeve. This is not a t-shirt. I'm tired of t-shirts, but yeah, this is like a cute little long sleeve. And so shout out to Barachain and Winnie of Chipped Nails. So when she had her event, she had the ability where you could make tote bags, purses, t-shirts, tank tops, long sleeve. She had options. And then you can go pick your own like words and images that you can go screen print on. So this is something that I created. And I chose the long sleeve. So yeah, I love merch that's different than just a plain old t-shirt. Like I get it. It's also cost to produce these things. T-shirts are usually the cheapest, but like let's work on that. Let's work on the budgeting just a little bit, like
I agree because people will wear really cool merch again, and that will help proliferate your brand, which is the whole reason you're making merch.
Exactly.
So if you want some custom merch,
I feel like most people who wear their t-shirts use them for workouts or for sleeping. Like, is that fair? I feel like that's what I do. That's what Keegan's done. That's what some of my other crypto friends have done. So it's like, if you want people to wear your merch out in the wild, like make it kind of cool, just put a little effort, just a little bit. So that's all I'm asking. Anyway, so that video was retweeted by the ETH Denver account.
Well, I'm not sure if that one was retweeted by the Denver account. I actually just wanted to share that because I really like the recap video that they made. And, it showcased the merch that I did, design and curate. And the other thing I wanted to share, if you could let me present, is a shout out that we got from ETH Denver for using their podcast lounge, actually.
This last one.
Yeah. This past ETH Denver, I got a chance to record a couple podcast episodes with Maximilian, with Jennifer Pepin, and with Danichi, one of my collaborators. Well, all of them are my collaborators in one way or another. So we recorded a podcast while we were there, and this is like the official photo that ETH Denver snapped and decided to share today. So
this wasn't something that you sent them or that you had already posted. Wow, so they took it from their archives.
Yes.
Cool. So wait, did they tag you or you just happen to see it and you're like, hey, that's me?
Actually, someone commented, Yolantis, so shout out to Yolantis, one of my friends who's also an artist in the space, who actually came out to see my show in East Denver. She commented on here and put, I recognize Creatress and Maximilian. I'm not sure who the other two people on the panel, and it's Jennifer Pepin, and she knows them personally. But yeah, that's how I found out. I didn't know. They didn't tag me. Hey, you them, why don't y'all tag us? No, just kidding. But it would be cool if you did. But yeah, that's how I found out. Someone tagged me in it.
This is such a great photo. First of all, the setup. I mean, I can tell. I was not able to make it out this year. So busy during East Denver. I mean, I had a crazy journey. For those who know, was not an easy trip for me. But I'm really sad I didn't get the opportunity to do the press podcast. But I did it last year. It was so great last year, and I love to see the setup that they had this year and all the cool like little products and merch that they put on the table is a cool little ad. And just love that they posted all the girls on here. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So thank you, East Denver, for having us, for giving us the podcasting space and time and all the cool perks, and then also for giving us a cool visual shout out. At least, you know, we're out there representing.
Representing. So let's move on. I see here we have some news about Clone X and Artifact. You also wanted to share. So what's all of that about? I know some things. So I'm curious to see what you're going to share.
I honestly can't even remember exactly what I wanted to mention about it, except I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere. Let me pull this up because I haven't looked at this one in a minute. I heard in a couple different spaces that the Clone X, or the, how do you call it, artifact NFTs weren't even indexing like on OpenSea. Like, yes, someone forgot to pay the IPFS. I saw that a couple times, and then I saw people talking about it in space, although I think they fixed it because so many people like noticed.
How could they not? Like,
they didn't. Okay. But yeah, I just thought it was funny that like so much was being talked about. And the actual tweet that I have that I was looking at was talking about the rise, fall, and rug of Artifact and Clone X. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, we're already making parodies of this about like really big collections. Like, I remember when like Thalia, who's like a really, really like well-known, not just in Mexico, but like global icon, was rocking this artifact and a Clone X or both. Like, and everyone was like, all the rage. And then in the thread, it's like Elon was wearing the sneakers, and like, I don't know. I just found it interesting. I never was part of it. I never actually got in because the price went like astronomical really fast. But yeah, I just thought we should give them at least like a shout out and an RIP, because yeah.
Well, yeah. I've been following Clone X and Artifact from the beginning. I'm part of the Clone X LA community, so I know them really, really well. They're such a strong in general, like the community itself. Like, I feel for them because they were such a strong community. Obviously, great IP. One of the first like 3D assets on, that was an NFT collection. And a lot of them were like really, really fantastic animators, like making shorts that like at the time, no other NFT project was doing that. Like, now we've seen kind of like Azuki and some other NFT projects like use the IP and like create these like fun little like trailers and like shorts and stuff. But Artifact was one of the first to do it and do it well. And so they have a lot of talented entrepreneurs and creators and community members over there. And then, of course, most people were excited because Nike bought them. And so people were excited, like, okay, Nike's going to make this product and this IP even that much better. But then Nike let it go. Like, they didn't do anything. They just put it on a shelf and let it collect dust. And of course, that was a huge disappointment to the community who had all of this momentum and thought that Nike would have the funding and the more bandwidth and energy to do this. But for whatever reason, Nike saw that there was not really much money to be made, is what I'm assuming, is what it looks like, is that they're like, well, why are we going to put our resources, our employees to go build that out when this is kind of like a dead space? That's just what I feel like happened. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. Excuse me. And so Nike made a public tweet last year that they were sunsetting Artifact. And they made this whole thing about how we're putting Artifact, what was always meant to be, as an artifact. So then people were pissed, like, how dare you make this pun unintentionally or whatever it is? Like, you're going to say that we're always meant to be an artifact in general? Like, that's not what the vibe was at all, you know? So, like, they got people pissed off, communities pissed off. And so, yeah. So then, you know, as the dust settles, you know, that was, people got upset last year, and then all of a sudden people's anger came back when they saw that their images were not even showing up on OpenSea anymore, because Nike or whoever was in charge stopped paying their Cloudflare subscription. So this was like another topic and discussion of like, well, which NFT collections are truly on chain? Because if you're not on chain, if you're using your images that are pointing to IPFS, interplanetary filing system, so IPFS, right? So like that is not truly on chain. Yes, that is a way to help with costs, because it can be extremely expensive to put a 10,000 PFP collection on chain. That is why most projects are not actually truly fully on chain, because for that data file, and especially 3D files that are really high quality, high resolution, it costs a lot of money to even just put one image on the blockchain like that. So most collections have them point to an image called IPFS, and that is held by Cloudflare, their services, their data services. And so, yeah, that is a subscription that you have to pay to keep the images up there. So it kind of exposed and resurfaced some of that disappointment and sadness and anger, a lot of those emotions. And I just feel for them. I feel for them. And I know, like, you know, I've mentioned a little bit here on our show about Herman Narula, who is one of the founders of Improbable, who is in the middle of building the metaverse, right? And they're doing it really well. They've partnered with MLB. They've partnered with a huge Korean K-pop artist. They've partnered with Other Side from Bored Ape Yacht Club. And he made a tweet. Herman was like, "Oh, should we go and buy Artifact?" And so then there was debate on that. Some people were like, yeah, of course, buy us because we need help. And then others were like, well, why are you going to buy a collection? Like, you don't even know where the community members are at, but maybe go and check out who the developers were for Artifact. Maybe go hire them to help improve Improbable, you know? So yeah, I feel for it, and apologies for bringing it up. Because I don't know who's the holder who's watching, but yeah, it's a heartbreak for sure.
RIP. And let's just, you know, hopefully none of our listeners or, you know, our community got too wrecked by it. Just to tie it back to our earlier story.
Right.
And what else do we have?
I think we have some Nounish merch showcase you wanted to show. Oh, you're on mute. There you go.
Oh. Okay, I think we got ahead of ourselves earlier because I already ran the video about the merch.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, you have it on here. East Denver shout out and then Nounish merch showcase.
Well, okay, I see. So one was the shout out from the podcast and one was the merch. So I think, either way, we covered them both.
No
Moving on.
All right, let's move on to one of my favorite topics, and I know a lot of your favorite topics. Even Keegan was like, what is the space news you're going to share this week? It's space news. It's a space news segment. And so if you're new to our show, not only do we talk about crypto and Web3 and NFTs and art here, but we also love talking about space tech and AI tech. Because there's a lot happening in our world and humans are exploring and expanding on these technologies. So do you guys remember last week's show? We had talked about a planet called, do you remember what planet K2-18b. Okay.
Yes.
This was a new planet last week that they announced that they had found signs of life. This was a planet that, like, in the history of science and space exploration, this has been the most promising and close they have found to potential life on the planet. Okay, K2-18b is 124 light years away from us, and it's about 2.5 times the size of Earth, and it's about 700 trillion miles away. Okay, 124 light years away from us. So it's pretty far, but the technology that we have with the robots and the telescopes and some of the like the Hubble telescope and stuff like that, they're out there floating in space, and they're able to look deep, 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 deep with their cameras and their lenses and their technology to find these planets. And so the chemical that they found, okay, so this was a chemical composition that they had detected. It's called DMS, okay, which is a chemical compound that stands for dimethyl sulfide. And they also detected DMDS, which is dimethyl disulfide. Okay, so what these chemicals are these are chemicals that are produced here on Earth, and these are gases that are produced by the very basic organisms, which we're not basic here. Humans are not basic. We're very complex organisms with many different cells and many different organs, right? But some of the most simple organisms that we have here on Earth are the marine phytoplankton and bacteria, right? Usually those are simple single-celled organisms, right? So when we think of life on other planets, it may not necessarily be in a complex human or animal form. It may be at the simple single cell like bacteria form, okay? So that's what we had talked about last show, okay? Well, guess what? Between last show and today's show, there's been another new discovery, okay, that has gone forward.
New
News, okay? And so this compound I had mentioned, DMS, dimethyl sulfide, okay, they just discovered this molecule closer than that planet, okay? And what they found was they found this chemical compound not on a planet, but on a comet, okay? So this comet is called 67P, and they found this chemical compound on this comet, leading to them to speculate that this is what's called a biosignature, where this comet came from an ancient planet, and something must have happened to that ancient planet that broke it apart, and so now it's turned into this comet. And so that means that there could be potential other old ancient planets that may have had life or currently have life right now. And so it's really exciting because it's something that's closer that they can probably like research a little bit more. And so this is what they called exoplanet biosignatures, right? This is the search for life beyond Earth, and astronomers often look for these biosignatures, which are indicators of past or present life. And so, yeah, that's pretty cool. Usually they look for chemical compounds, they look for biological structures, or even physical like phenomenon, right? So this is exciting. But something that came out of this research was also a debate against this chemical compound, because other scientists have said, well, maybe DMS is not really a good indicator of life, because if it can exist on a comet, then maybe we need to relook at what we consider as biosignatures. Maybe we need to rethink what DMS really is. If it's not just produced by bacteria and stuff like that, maybe it can be produced without a living organism. So there does need to be more research, which is always the case, and which always a good scientist does, is that they know that they don't always have the answers is that they have questions that lead to more questions. So stay tuned. I will be following this closely for you guys, but it's exciting. It's exciting to see it, and it's wild to know how this is possible with the tech, like being able to detect these chemical signatures light years away. And us as humans haven't even traveled that deep into space yet, right? And it's like 124 light years, like that is more than any single human could live through anyways. Unless you have super high speed travel, like, I don't know, maybe Creatious, you can look into that. Like, where are we at with the tech, with high speed, space travel? I don't know. But until then, we got to use these robotics and these machines that are flying out there and collecting the data for us. But yeah, what do you think about this news? Did you happen to hear about this?
I didn't hear about it. I like it. I like that there's always more.
There's always layers.
Yeah. There's always layers to this. So there goes another layer on top of the story that we covered last week. So I love that. Oh, I had a joke. It was when high speed travel, like all we got is best we can do right now is high speed internet. And even that we have issues with sometimes.
Oh, God. Right. Until we can get solid internet at a conference, come on, guys. How can we get to high speed travel in space?
Exactly. So like chill. We're not there yet. Although I would love if we were, because I love all sorts of space stuff. Interstellar, for example. Okay, now here's a little bit of a space cinema segment. In Interstellar, and I won't tell you the whole story, but it's the story of a dad who gets called to do a really long trip into space to try to find a way to save Earth, right? And in the end, his daughter is actually the one that figures it out, this like formula that they needed to take off from Earth and like defy gravity to take such a big shuttle with so many people and resources up, right? And then start building in space. And they do manage to do it to the point where, like, in the end, he gets to see his daughter up in space in this new, like, on this new planet that they just like basically colonized. But in a good way, I guess. There was no one there already, all right? So they just took over the planet. But what I'm saying is, like, in that scenario, like, that happened. Like, we figured it out. So I can't wait till we get there. Watch Interstellar if you haven't seen it. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Wow.
High-speed internet, though.
High speed. Let's get to high-speed internet first. Let's solve that. Then let's talk about the high-speed space travel. Got it. All right.
Sorry, I don't know. Can you hear me okay? Because it just started raining over here too.
Oh, wow. No, yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay, so another thing I wanted to share was like my first collection of NFTs was 11 extra solar butterflies. And the reason they're called extra solar is because each of them is from an exoplanet. And I actually went through on NASA's website and found specific exoplanets, and they are in their descriptions. So if you go to like I just pulled one up. This one was from a gas giant discovered in 2013 with a mass of 1.7 Jupiters orbiting the star Omega Serpentis. And like each one, the planet, the exoplanet was called Omega Serpentis B.
Wow.
So there's layers. There's literal layers to this show. Because I minted this in 2021. 11 different ones, and each one had an exoplanet associated with it as like their origin.
Cool. I love that.
Anyway,
just the crypto space journey. Oh my God. Moving on. But speaking of stars, okay, I have other news, and I know we are wrapping up here, so I'm gonna get through this news pretty quickly. So hang in here, because we're gonna travel at the speed of light, okay? Or I'm gonna try my best. But I wanted to share this video here. So someone made a video of what the Earth will see when the light from Betelgeuse reaches us, okay? So for anyone who doesn't know, there is a star in the sky called Betelgeuse. and it is part of the Orion constellation. You usually can see it with the naked eye, but something that has happened to this star is that it has died. And when a star dies, it's called going supernova. And so the stars like explode and get brighter and brighter and just like create the stardust everywhere. Okay. And so they have speculated that Betelgeuse, the star, has already died. It's already gone supernova. But because the star is extremely far away, it takes a really long time for the light to reach Earth. So sometime in the next potential 200 to 300 years, we will see this phenomenon in the sky. Humans will be able to see a second sun in our solar system, which technically it's not going to be the second sun, but it will be so bright that it will seem like there are two suns in the sky. So I don't know. We're already in the process of that to see. Scientists have detected each day the Betelgeuse is getting just ever so slightly brighter and brighter and brighter, which means that it probably has already gone supernova. So I think it's super cool. And, if we're not going to be around when it does happen, this is a pretty cool animated video someone created to show what it potentially could look like in the night sky. So I think that's cool. I hope we are around when it happens. But I can only imagine, like, guys, like we have this technology and so we understand what's happening. But I always think about, like, imagine like the ancient indigenous people when there was no electricity, no tech invented yet, and they just see this stuff. Like, I don't know. It just blows my mind away. And like, what would I think about this? Like, you would think like, oh my God, it's the gods, like we've made them happy or we've made them angry. We need to make a sacrifice. I don't know.
I know. I feel you. And it's been said that actually this one history lesson that I got on a tour recently here in Mexico, and it was like, I forget who they were fighting, but I think they were either fighting the French or like someone who was here to invade. And there was an eclipse, like they were about to defeat the invaders, and then an eclipse happened, and like they took it as a sign that like the invaders were actually like meant to be here, or like meant to like take over. And so they like laid down their arms and like were conquered, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm just like, no. So, anyway. Oh my God, it is coming down so hard outside. Can you hear?
I hear the soundboard. It sounds amazing.
It is jumping suddenly here. So, anyways, I'll send it back to you, Val.
Okay, yeah, I know we have a couple more minutes, and there was another video I wanted to show you guys. It has to do with AI, and I thought this would be hilarious because Creatress is also in the VR space, but it's kind of a little bit of a long video. So you know what? I'm going to maybe save this video for next show, okay? I know you guys are pretty curious about what I was going to show, but I promise you, I want you guys to watch the whole video. But it has to do with AI and VR and about potential relationships in the future, having a boyfriend or girlfriend. And of course, I know a lot of you already kind of know this is where we're headed with AI, that people will get married with AIs. People will have, more intimate relationships with AIs. So there is a video out right now that's gone viral, and I will show that next week. But let's move on to Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo is coming up. Speaking of indigenous people, the U.S. used to be Mexico a long time ago. But one of our favorite holidays to celebrate on both sides of the borders is Cinco de Mayo. Okay, so that is on May 5th. And we've got a couple cool events that are coming up. And so I think, Creatress, you wanted to talk about ETH Cinco de Mayo.
Okay. And yes, so for anyone who doesn't know, Cinco de Mayo is when the Mexican army defeated the French invaders and therefore stopped the French from completing their journey up into the United States territories and conquering the United States before it became what it is today. So that's why it's celebrated in the U.S., even though it is a very much Mexican holiday. We celebrate it because we saved ourselves as Mexicans. The U.S. celebrates it because they were lucky enough to be saved also just by the nature of it.
Right.
So, and yes, and uh, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that California, Arizona, Nevada, and Texas were all Mexican territories until the acquisition, the Louisiana Purchase. But we won't get into that. That's just like the backstory, right? So this is why it's celebrated on both sides of the border. And this Cinco de Mayo, there's going to be a big event happening in Mexico City, which I will present in just 1 second here. Let me share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited. I believe I will be attending at least one of the events. There's like a whole week of events. It actually already started. So it's a Web3 conference and a hackathon. And it's going to be going from May 1st until May 4th. Although there has already been a couple things in like side events that popped up essentially. So they have a call for hackers, volunteers, mentors. Looks like Bitrefill was trying to get in and support. We know Bitrefill, so shout out to them. And yeah, there's just been a whole lot of events that they've been announcing. The other one that I wanted to mention was ETH Mexico. Let me see if I can put Ethereum. Ethereum Mexico, here it is. And so they are also hosting an event. It seems like it's going to be like a collaboration that that's happening between ETH Mexico. As you can see, they're posting about it here. ETH Mexico, ETH Global, ETH Cinco de Mayo, and one more.
Pizza Day, Pizza DAO.
Yes, Pizza DAO is also hosting. So I actually have let me share this tab instead. There's a whole Cinco de Mayo events calendar.
Cool.
So just like
and
any other
website for someone who wants to check it out.
This is a Notion calendar, which I'll post the link under our live stream on X, so you guys can check it out. But I don't honestly remember where I even found this. But they have stuff starting April 29th, which I believe is today. Dia de DeSci, which is decentralized science. Staking LA, Pizza DAO, Ethereum Mexico, Cinco de Mayo. Here it is. That's on April 30th, which is also the day of the Children's Day here.
Tomorrow.
ETH Global Mexico, Co-working Space, Cashless After Party by CeeLo, ETH Global Mexico Happy Hour. Maybe that's what I'll go over there for. And yeah, just a bunch of really cool events. I've seen others even in addition to these. So it's definitely getting really lit in Mexico City, which is the center of the universe, as they say. So I'm really excited to connect with with all the Mexicans and all the people who came to Mexico to celebrate. So yeah, that's ETH Cinco de Mayo for you.
Well, if you go, definitely go enjoy it for me and for all of us who can't make it there. I love the holidays. I love the culture. And when you can mix in a little bit of crypto, it's even better. So yeah, shout out to everyone who will be there, who's putting on, all the efforts to put this on. And speaking of, we mentioned Pizza DAO. We do have a fun guest on our next show. So we will welcome Snacks of Pizza DAO, one of the OG founders. He will be on our show to talk about probably how ETH Mexico went, right? And then also to talk about the Bitcoin Pizza Day. That is coming up on May 22nd on a Thursday. And so Pizza DAO is allocating $625 to anyone who wants to step up and volunteer to do a pizza party in their city on the day of Bitcoin Pizza Day. So he will be on to give more information next Tuesday. And yeah, that concludes our show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to season 7, episode 4. And we'll catch you on the next one. And we see the creators shouting out Snacks and Pizza, and Keegan saying hello, ladies. So thank you so much. We love you guys too. We appreciate the support. And just a final reminder, if you want to go and win this t-shirt for next show, go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, we're trying to grow our YouTube as well. And so you guys can go over there, look up There's Layers to This, and please do it. Please help us and go and subscribe. We would really appreciate the help, and it would automatically enter you into this giveaway. So yes, that concludes our show. And so we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
See you next week with our special guest. And we also have Maximilian the week after, so don't miss it.
Awesome.